believes that Ganesh is really a part of us, and that elephant head and all of the things and the many hands that he has are all divine aspects present within us. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that have to remove the obstacles.
You're listening to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast with Suzanne Sole, episode 62.
Hello, you twinkling stars of wandering light, and welcome to the Spiritual Shitshow podcast, where we get into the labyrinth the healing and spiritual awakening journey can be. I'm your host, Suzanne Sole, commuter, lifelong spiritual student, and I'm sharing some of the insights I've learned along my journey that have helped me, and that I hope help you too. Welcome to another Asking for a Friend episode, the series where I bring in ministers, therapists, artists, and other amazeballs humans to help unpack this wild ride called healing and awakening. And I'm not asking for myself. Okay, I am. I'm asking for a friend, and I'm asking for myself. And you're the friend, and I'm myself. And welcome to part 2 of my Asking for a Friend holiday convo with Fred Stella, a Hindu minister, interfaith speaker, and host of the long-running Western Michigan public radio show, Common Threads. Last week, we talked about the Christmas story, Hinduism, and the rich mythology of this season. And in part 2, oh yes, we go even deeper. Fred shares more about his decades-long work in interfaith dialogue. We talk about Bodhi Day, the Ganesha festival, and at the end, Fred gives us a beautiful New Year's blessing. It's like a little soul balm to help you close out this wild year and step into the next one with some sparkling, twinkling light. All right, let's get into it.
Radio show called Common Threads.
Yes, it airs on 2 NPR affiliates here in West Michigan, WGVU and WGVK. Between the two of them, they cover pretty much the entire western side of the state, almost.
Yes.
But it is available as a podcast for
Yes.
people who do not live in West Michigan. So, what happened is, I'm president of an organization called the Interfaith Dialogue Association, which is a grassroots org that started here in Grand Rapids. And we are now an affiliate of a much larger organization that is housed also in Grand Rapids at a local college, Grand Valley State University. And we started this almost 30 years ago.
Incredible.
I was not the host, and I wasn't the host for the first year. But I will tell you this. Have you ever seen The Good Place?
Oh my God, I love that show.
Okay.
So good. It was so
There
good.
was one guy who played kind of like the head demon
Yes.
in there, and his name was Mark Evan Jackson.
Yes.
He is the original
Oh my gosh.
Common Threads.
Incredible.
So I'm waiting for my big Hollywood break.
That's right. That's right.
He
You
also-
got the next TV show in you somewhere.
Yeah. So
Wow.
he is a working actor, a very successful working actor
Yeah.
in Hollywood. Why he
Fancy.
left Common Threads, I don't
I know.
know.
I know. What was he thinking?
But he when a group of us on the board decided we wanted a radio show, and we had a connection with WGVU, the NPR affiliate at Grand Valley, we tapped into that resource, and Mark was working behind the scenes at the time as a producer, and they wanted me to host it. And I go, oh, that sounds too much like work. And because I had experience, I was a radio talk show host for a time in my checkered career.
Well, you have the voice for it.
And thank you. So I said, no, I don't want to, but I will help produce that. I will help get him guests. So I did that for a year, helping to get guests for him. And then all of a sudden he got an offer to work at Second City, the great improv troupe.
Yeah.
And that was in Detroit. Then he moves to Hollywood. And it's like, okay, either the show dies or I got to buckle up and do this. And I have never done anything great in my life. I'm a very unambitious person. But when I am thrown off the dock, things can happen.
Yeah. You'll swim.
I will swim.
Because here you
I will
are.
swim. Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to ask you, so what is the theme, the premise of the show? What is the purpose and premise?
Thank you. It's not what a lot of people would think, because the full name of the show is Common Threads, an Interfaith Dialogue. So a lot of people, when they hear that title, they think, oh, it's just a bunch of people from different religions, and it's all really kumbaya, kind of light, and it is not that at all.
Yeah.
We explore, I mean, every nook and cranny of religion and spirituality. And I am talking about the light and the dark.
Yeah.
So I've done
The shit shows.
yeah, along with, again, the light, the love that is also expressed in religion.
Yes.
Just about everything and anything. We try to make it the widest variety possible. And
Wonderful.
if you don't mind me, I can tell people easily how to find it.
Yes.
You go to any podcast platform,
Yes.
but you have to type in Common Threads Interfaith Dialogue, because Common Threads turns out to be a very common name.
Okay.
And so it has to say Common Threads Interfaith Dialogue.
Yes.
Believe
Well,
it
I'll
or
leave links in the show notes as well of
Okay.
all of your stuff for sure.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. I want to talk about Hanukkah.
Yes.
And just from your own experience in your exploration of interfaith and talking to different folks, from an interfaith perspective, how do you see the Hanukkah and what it exemplifies and personifies?
Well, the story of Hanukkah is the miracle of the oil lamp that would not go out for 8
Right.
days, even though it only had a day's worth of oil in it.
Right.
It also is a holiday that honors those Jews who refused to bow down to the ascendant power, the Syro-Grecian invaders, who demanded that they not practice their faith. There was no gift giving involved in
Of course. Right. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then, of course,
The 8 days of gifts.
the parents said, "Well, we got to do Christmas one better. You
'Cause
get
everyone's-
one day of gift, we get 8 days of gift."
That's right. Ha ha.
Yeah, right. However, when you compare it to the other days, again, it is a festival of light, the
Yes.
same way that Christmas certainly is.
Are there any Islamic? Okay, complicated.
No, but let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay, so Judaism is lunar. Hinduism is lunar. Buddhism is lunar, and Islam is lunar. But they're different kinds of lunar, and it's above my pay grade to describe why. But so even and of course Easter is a lunar holiday, right? But these lunar holidays, such as Easter, such as Rosh Hashanah and Passover and Hanukkah and Enlightenment Day and Diwali, even though they're lunar in a way where they are definitely in a particular part of the year. In Islam, they do things differently. Again, it's beyond me to explain it.
Yeah.
But all of the auspicious days in Islam can appear at any time of the year.
Oh.
All right. So there is nothing particularly sacred about Islam in December,
Got it.
other than when just because the moon is where it is, then maybe you could have there are two holidays called Eid, and sometimes Eid, which is like the end of Ramadan.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Eid can fall in December, but it can fall in June,
Right.
fall in November. It can
That's
fall
interesting.
anytime. Yeah, so that's why again, some years when people are talking about interfaith, they'll say, "Oh, and coming up is the Muslim holiday of this," but that's, catch as catch can.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
So I want to get into the Bodhi Day.
Yes.
So what is Bodhi Day, and tell us about it?
Okay, so Bodhi Day is the day that tradition tells us that the Buddha decided to sit underneath a particular tree in the town of Bodh Gaya, and he affirmed that he would not leave his seat until he attained enlightenment. And lo and behold, with tremendous spiritual effort and patience, he achieved enlightenment.
And Maya, which is the illusion.
Yes, in Pali, I believe the language is Pali. It's Mara, but you've got the right idea.
Okay. Yeah. So that's when he was sitting there, the entity
Yes.
came to give him three temptations,
Yes.
similar to the three temptations of Christ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He would be offered that to renounce his spiritual quest,
His own divinity.
his own divinity.
And what I remember of that story that I think is so powerful is they say that he put his finger on the ground and touched it. And that was him claiming his place in the world as
That's
an
right.
enlightened being. Because the question came to the Buddha saying, "Who do you think you are?" And that's when he touched the ground. And that's all how he responded.
Yeah.
It was like, "I belong here. That's who I am."
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's a beautiful sentiment. And do you know when Bodhi Day is in December?
I believe.
December 8th. I just saw it.
Oh, okay.
So that was just-
Also, Miss Catholic School, what else is December 8th?
I don't remember.
The Feast of the Immaculate Conception.
Oh, can you please tell us about that?
Sure. First of all, a lot of people, especially Catholics, they don't know what the Feast of the Immaculate Conception is. If you ask so many Catholics, they will tell you that it is when Gabriel appeared to Mary and told her that the Holy Spirit would overshadow her and she would be divinely impregnated immaculately. That is not the Immaculate Conception. That is the spiritual phenomenon that is called the virgin birth. But the Immaculate Conception is the actual conceiving by Mary's parents of Mary.
Oh,
She was conceived. Now, most will say that she was conceived the old-fashioned way. All right. However, she was conceived without original sin.
oh,
Okay, because the theory is that it would take a perfect vessel to hold the Son of God. And so Mary is considered in Catholic circles. The Protestants, by and large, don't believe this,
right.
but that she was conceived without original sin. That is the Feast of the Immaculate Conception.
How lovely.
Jesus,
I never,
yeah. But as I say, people tend to mistake that with the story of Gabriel. There's a day, I forget when, but somewhere on the calendar there is a feast of Mary's, the Visitation. That is when she assumes to be the vessel of Jesus.
I was going to say, because then that would be a 17-day gestation period.
Yes.
Not only the fastest birth, the fastest pregnancy ever known to men. So let's talk about the festival of Ganesha. And first of all, who is Ganesha, the god?
Ganesha is the elephant-headed deity. He has the head of an elephant and the body of a rather portly, stout man.
In Hindu
In
tradition.
Hindu mythology. Uh-huh. And Ganesh is the son of Shiva and Parvati. And there are actually two auspicious times for Ganesh that can fall in December. The one is very ancient, Ganesh Chaturthi. And Ganesh Chaturthi it's not a holiday. Believe me, there are so many auspicious days during the calendar. And remember, Hinduism is an extremely diverse set of spiritual religions. Okay. Unlike, say, Christianity, where there's hardly a Christian that doesn't celebrate Christmas, that doesn't celebrate Easter. But then again, you do have the Catholics who celebrate the Immaculate Conception on December 8th, and Ascension Thursday, celebrating the day that Jesus went up to heaven.
Yeah.
All of that. So not every Hindu celebrates the Ganesh auspicious days or holidays. But the one that you bring up at the end of the year, the one that begins on the 25th, that is rather new. That holiday is probably 20 to 25 years old. It was created, if you will, for Christmas.
Okay. I was going to think it was from New Year's Eve.
No.
Okay.
No.
Like removing things.
Oh, that's a good, but it goes all the way to it's multiple days, and it goes from Christmas to.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, the god Ganesha.
Yes.
What is what is Ganesha the god of?
More often than not, you will hear him described in several different ways, but I would say number one, he is the remover of obstacles. Okay.
Yes.
And so Ganesh is the one who people invoke when there is an obstacle in their life that needs removal. Now, some people, here's the wonderful thing about Hinduism is that it is so pluralistic, and it's big enough to take so many beliefs in. There are Hindus who truly believe that there is an elephant-headed entity that exists on a spiritual plane. And by invoking that presence, their lives may benefit. There are other Hindus who don't believe that Ganesh objectively exists, but believe Ganesh to be an archetype, believes that Ganesh is really a part of us, and that elephant head and all of the things and the many hands that he has are all divine aspects present within us. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that have to remove the obstacles.
Yes. Wow,
Okay.
that's beautiful. What aspect of our own beings do you think, like what personality trait or characteristic could be something that is emulated in Ganesha?
A very, very strong will. A very
I
strong
love that.
will. Yeah.
Right, because when you are focused on going in a specific direction or achieving something specific, it kind of naturally bumps everything else that's
It
not
does.
that out of
It-
the way.
In the same way that when an elephant wants to get from point A to point B, not a whole lot gets in his way.
Knocking down trees and bushes everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
The Festival of Ganesha, so
Yeah.
how does that go up? What's that all about?
Remember when we were talking about Hindus celebrating Christmas, right? But not every Hindu celebrates Christmas.
Right.
And some Hindus will not celebrate Christmas on principle because remember the history of Christianity and Hinduism. Christians invaded India. Not every Christian, but
Right.
the first Christians actually didn't. The very first Christians came to India. Some say in the first century, others people say in the fourth century. Regardless, they've been here. They've been in India for a long, long time. They were not invaders. But the Portuguese Christians came in the 16th century, I believe, and they brought with them the Spanish Inquisition.
But with the Inquisition,
Yes,
let's begin. Remember that from History of the World?
absolutely.
Look out, sin.
And they came into the west coast of India and destroyed temples and tortured people. It was horrible. And then you had the British come in the 18th and 19th centuries, and they were unwelcome guests. Uh, a lot of conversion efforts. So some Hindus cannot celebrate Christmas because of that PTSD. Okay,
Oh,
and I get that. I get
yeah,
that.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
And so for them, this Ganapati is another name for Ganesh. This Ganapati celebration of the last week of the year is something that small Hindu children can appreciate. Gift giving is done. The sweet treats. I mean, think about all of the wonderful aspects of traditions of Christmas, and then just Hinduize it. I mean,
Hinduize it.
yeah. I mean,
Love it.
there's even an Andy Williams Ganesh album.
For real?
No,
There's no place like Ganesh for the holidays. Yeah. And so it's just so interesting how we have all these holidays in December, and then that leads us up to the end of the year. So it's like we could kind of see this as like kind of celebrating our life in the year during this month of December, celebrating the love and the light and the life that
yeah.
we've.
That's towards the end of the year. That is another opportunity for me to express gratitude.
Yeah.
I think of what the year has been, where I have fallen short, the great gifts that have been given to me. I have a New Year's Eve. I have two New Year's Eve and a New Year's Day traditions.
Yes, I was actually going to ask you to share something like that with us
Okay,
that maybe
so
some people could
yeah,
adopt.
so I keep a bit of a journal. Now, it has two parts to it. I have a regular old-fashioned calendar, a paper calendar, and I write if there's anything that I do that is out of the ordinary. I write it down, right? I mean, Suzanne's podcast is written on my calendar.
I made the book.
Yes, absolutely. On the last day of the month, I create a full journal entry, my impressions of the month. I already know what I did because all I have to do is look at the date and they'll say, Suzanne this, or I saw this play or whatnot. But I go into more, how am I feeling? What is happening in my life? What is happening in my wife's life? All of that. And then on New Year's Eve day, when I sit for meditation, I read all of my calendar entries. I read the front part of the
Aw.
calendar that has the actual activities, and I read my reflections on the back for all pretty much 11 months, because then later that day I'll do December. I'll write my December journal.
Yes.
Then on New Year's Eve, we this is something that all SRF chapters are invited to do. We have a midnight meditation. So we meditate from 11:30 until 12:15. And so that sacralizes the new year.
Beautiful.
Okay. And then on New Year's Day, traditionally, I go on retreat. We have a beautiful retreat center about 3 hours to the north of us in beautiful northern Michigan.
Yeah.
And I go up there for a couple of days, just a couple of days. That's just to get in gear for the new year.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your insight and your wisdom and your knowledge with everyone and with me. I'm so glad you were able to make it to come and talk to me, because I was like, it would be so cool to have Fred come and share his knowledge and everything that, that you've learned from all of your experiences and the folks that you've spoken to on your show and in your work as a pracharak. As a pracharak. I'm going to get it. And so thank you. And I know you're not a priest, but I thought it might be really cool, since you're such an eloquent person, if you might share a December, blessing. Do you ever do anything like that? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
For the holidays and for the new year.
Sure, absolutely. Let me just center myself for a moment. So we call upon that beneficent power of the universe, known by many names: Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, Beloved God, Omnipresence. Awaken within us the consciousness of your presence in every activity. In this holiday season that is often described as full of light, allow us to see that light behind all of that which may tend to blur that light. The frustrations, the consumerism, all of that. It may dim it slightly, but let it not disappear from our view. And as we approach the new year, let us take a moment to reflect upon the spiritual growth of the past year and the need for improvements in our life. And let us look at this new year coming up, 2026, filled with awe and wonder, knowing that while great challenges may lie ahead, so do great gifts. And the greatest gift that you can give us is the acknowledgement of your presence. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Beautiful. Thank you so, so much, Fred Stella.
You are more than welcome, Suzanne.
Well, wasn't this just an absolutely delightful way to prep for the new year? Huge thanks to Fred Stella for sharing his heart, his story, and his blessings with us. Again, you can find Fred's radio show Common Threads at WGVU Public Radio in Michigan, or visit interfaithdialogueassociation.org. I will leave links in the show notes where you can learn more about Fred's work. As always, my name is Suzanne Sole. This has been the Spiritual Shitshow podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Happy motherfucking New Year. And I will see you on the next one. Roll it, hot stuff.